Hey guys, this is Chaos, and this video will be all about Bitwig. So I recently decided to try this DAW and I really like it. So this video will be all about my first impressions and how I switch and what points I like it. So let's jump into it. The first thing I would like to mention is that you can open Ableton projects on Bitwig. You don't need to start everything fresh if you are making this switch. You just load Ableton projects that you already have, and then you can keep working, which is very nice. I started this project on Ableton, but it was only kick and bass, these hi-hats, and this like pad with sidechain on it. Just a start idea. So I think this project was perfect because I just built something around this. And then I built all these sounds. Let's give a check. It's about 1 minute. And now let's see what was my first impressions when I was working on it. So let's talk about the layout. Here we are in the arrangement view. So you also have mix view. On mix view, you can also add the clip view. Then, for example, if you are not using this, you have the option to just care about the levels here. So yeah, the levels are, you can make it really big, so it's nice to see. You can see all the plugins you have. There's other options here, for example, but I just gonna speak about what I really know, which is this, the in and out from each track, okay, and that's it, okay, very nice. So you can switch, arrange, mix here, but on the arrangement, you can also load the mix. So you also have the mixer here on the arrangement. So closing this tab, for example, if you are you just select the channel, you also have the reference. Way bigger, way nicer. I like this. And now let's see how to load and open plugins. We can just click on this plus button, or you can right click on a lot of parts, and then you can add a new instrument track. Okay, this instrument track, okay, it's here. One click, you access this tab, and here it's the plugin list. So here is nothing, so let's just press plus. Okay, and then, for example, you can load your favorite plugin here. Let's open up Zero, let's say. Okay, Zero, open here. To close, you just close here on this tab. Okay, this is very important. It's something that if you are beginner on it, you maybe feel a bit lost. If you go to every channel, you see the list. Or you can also open up here on Serum, for example. You just click here, it's gonna load. Let's go to audio editing, which is something that it can really enhance your workflow. So the first thing I would like to speak about is the ability to draw the envelopes of the volume, and you can have a visual representation what you are doing. So I just duplicate this clip, okay, and here I made this envelope. Okay, so this is very cool because you can build a lot of dynamic on the sound. So this goes to 0, so you can go up or down, which is definitely great. It gives a lot of flexibility. Now I reset the envelope. So as you can hear, it's a straight delay pattern. Okay, so what I did, it was making something like this, that the sound can disappear and goes back. And for example, be a little bit louder in the end, or maybe a little bit more dynamic, like this. So this is what I made in this sound over here. Over the track, of course, is not a big thing, but maybe you can feel. So very nice. This gives us a nice dynamic. Of course, you have the pan pitch format. So it's basically the same thing, but this gain function is something nice. Other stuff is about audio slicing, which is amazing. It's everything we definitely wanted. I just copied this sample, and now we can experiment. I like this way of working, that we can hold shift and then I out of the grid. Okay, so because if I do without holding shift, is lock it to the grid. Okay, so if I press shift, I go a little bit out of the grid. So I like to make cuts like that's one thing you have to notice, that the program doesn't refresh the memory when you are holding the clip. Okay, so for example, it's still playing. Now I have to finish the process and then listen to it. So this is just a matter of workflow. You just gonna be used to it. Let's go to a very fun part. For example, let's chop it out this in 1/16 notes very easily. So I just select this part and I will cut. Okay, and here I have an audio event, and for example, here on this clip tab here, I have a lot of process that I can do in this audio event. Okay, and like reverse, very easy, and reset fades, which is very nice. Auto fade if you want to add fades, and this process works if you select many clips at the same time. These clips over here, they have a small fade. Okay, so for example, I just select everything and then just go here and reset fades. I pin the main functions that I like to use, and then it's easy access here. So this program is also kind of modular stuff. You can build your own layout, which is very nice. One thing I like is this slice in place, which gonna slice this sample in a lot of options. We have bit markers on sets. Not sure how it works, but I select mainly bit grid. Okay, so here you can select the tempo you want. So for example, 1/16. Boom. Now it's cut everything 1/16. Let's select everything, and I can hold shift, and then I have much more precise. Super easy. This is definitely game changer if you are doing our style of music, high tech. Is definitely a must, because it's much more easy. You can see the audio and the slice. I think it's much more for the visual representation of the stuff, it works a lot. And also, of course, for the workflow, for the sound of it, because high-tech is all about these very choppy samples that creates this kind of robotic feel. So we are going against the organic. So it's to sound like mechanic. So this is what makes high-tech. Okay, so now I'm gonna load a new track. I just copy this one. Okay, for this track, solo. It's a sample. Okay, FM lead sample, and then I can use my favorite plugin, which is Edge Delay. It's very nice. Just adds no ping pong, no feedback a little bit, and you have this long delay. One thing that I love about this though is that you can bounce the sound. For example, I like this. Right click, bounce. Okay, I already have, you see, it's very, very fast, and you already have your sound. So that gives you ability to try different effects and have total control of your sound design, which is amazing. It's definitely a game changer to make this super fast. Also on clips, you can adjust the levels here. Okay, definitely easier to see. And let's go to the next part of the video, which is the synthesis capability. Synthesis capability, it's amazing because on this synth we have polygrids. Polygrid is definitely a highlight of this DAW because it's a modular environment that you can build your own synths and make sound experimentations much more easy, much more like outside of the box. So here you can build your own. It's not so hard to work on it. So if you're used to work on synths and, for example, you don't know much about modular, you think it's like so much to do, it's definitely a nice start because it's super easy to control. For example, initial patch, which is just the waveform going to ADSR, and this is the audio output. So let's see. For example, it's very easy. You can notes. Let's just make a pattern like this just to show. Okay, on polygrid you have the envelope. So already works. So then you can make your own experimentations. Very nice. So keep it in solo. Now let's go to explore a little bit of the sound capabilities. So let's go. I will add a gate module. Okay, and go on trigger on ADSR. I can adjust the level here. And for example, it doesn't stop. Okay. Now I have a sound. I can change this to pulse, which is going to trigger the sound. Okay. And for example, here I can also experiment with the envelope. Let's leave it like this, but let's change the oscillator. I'm gonna use something a little bit different, which is this bytes oscillator, which is, I believe, is something close to Alaskan bytes because it's a kind of distortion. I'm not sure the phase distortion module maybe, but sounding different. Let's see. So it makes an FM, for example. The sound of it already sounds like an FM sound. But let's make FM by just dropping a sine wave, and then I'm going to route to this input. Okay, here we are making an FM to this sound, so let's jump into it. A nice thing about doing FM with this polygrid is that because, for example, here we have the semitones, which you already know about. But here on this side, we have the ratio, which is amazing. For example, here is the octaves. I'm changing the octaves of the sound. And here it's the proportion. So it's very nice when you are doing FM, because you can get different timbres. Yeah, I like that. So let's go further on this synthesis and add a filter on it. Okay, let's go to the filter section here. And here you have a lot of different filters. I'm going to use this Ripple because it sounds nice. Okay, something different. So just make the sound passing through. Okay, and then I'm gonna raise the volume. So I just now use release because it was to avoid these clicks. And here we have a kind of low pass filter. Okay, here is the second filter, something like this, and this is a feedback control, which creates a nice distortion sounds. Let's check. Yeah, it's very nice filter. And here we have other options. Just be careful. Okay, I like this. Let's go to add movement in this sound, adding modulations. I go here on LFO. Okay, just drop regular LFO and then output and this knob here. It's already modulating, so it's the same idea from the oscillators. Here is the frequency, so you can change quarter notes and 1/16, so hertz and kilohertz, which makes sense for LFOs, also for free height. And this is the frequency. So at the moment it's hertz, so maximum is 32 hertz and kilohertz, and it's a lot higher. Okay, so let's go to hertz, and we have to add something. Here we can see the signal that we are generating. Let's go to more advanced features. Let's go deep into this modulation. A nice thing that we can create here is go much more experimental and think outside of the box. So we can use unusual devices to having some different results that we're already making. For example, an LFO, if you think in modular environment, everything is about circuit, okay? So that means one thing is not just for that others. If you are just working with circuits, okay? So in circuit, we can process the circuits in other ways to get nice results. For example, distortion. Distortion is something that you can use in modulation to make a different shape of the modulation. So to actually show you, I go to display and gonna drop an oscilloscope here. Then you can actually see exactly what the wave is making. And here I have, okay, I go to very slow. Okay, so here we have our oscillations, so we can go higher or slower. Okay, and in this button we set if you want bipolar, because at this time it's only unipolar. So here we have the full spectrum, which is amazing, very nice. So now let's add this quantizer, which is actually a distortion. It's gonna clip the audio signal and create this kind of stairs. This is what I use in the Alaskan Bytes, my plugin, okay? What I use, this is the steps. For example, oh, sorry, I put in the wrong hole. And let's see. Now, with this distortion, add these steps in the modulation. Okay, let's try a different stuff now. This Shelby Chef. Here I can get much more crazy results. So now I am applying a distortion in the LFO, and I have a different result, which is amazing actually. It works really nice for this modulation. Let's go to other kind of modulation. So now I go to LFO and I will add this module here, the curves. So I go here. So this module works like this. Here I have the time, so quarter notes, but let's use a bar, because a bar it's a musical piece. Okay, here I have one bar, but maybe it's still short time. So here you can add more bars. So let's go to 4 bars, something like this, and so I see the sound is making in the same shape over here, and then you can add it your way. For example, you can snap to different grids. For example, I use this for. Then now let's go higher to 16. So very musical. It's really nice to shape your sound, and you also can access a lot of different presets. So there is if you go to any category here, you see a lot of, and then you can move the time here, make it higher on pitch or much more faster or slower to get the feeling you like. Is actually so much possibilities with this modulation and all this kind of synthesis engine. It's actually, I don't show so much, okay? I just show very basic stuff, but just for you have some idea, okay? There is a lot more to explore. And a great thing was I was saying about this modulation, everything we are making here works with CV. So that means if you have a semi-modular synth or modular synthesizer, of course, If you have modulars, you need to have a special interface, DC coupled interface. Some of the interface, they are DC coupled. Check if your interface is. It's like having much more modules on your setup. So I only have this semi-modular synth at the moment, very basic, but with this polygrid, I can make a lot on it. Really, really. It's super impressive, and I just have one cable, and then I have this cable that I can share for another, the same circuit. But if I have like more 3 cables, I can expand this way more. Okay, it's like too much, I think, for this synth actually. And that's my review, that's my consideration about the Bitwig. I hope you enjoy this video, learn something new, of course, and let me know also your impressions, some nice tip that I can also look at it. If you like this content and want to know more about the community, please become a member of this channel. That will help me to grow, and you can access a lot of video, a lot of stuff there. So see you in the next video.